Like I said, I'm talking like a retard today. I've been in front of the computer all day. Screw you if you don't like it. I don't care. I don't care. And, yeah. Roach pressure. Bad idea. Why is this a bad idea? Zerglings kill roaches in small numbers. There's like such tiny niche situations where this is a good idea. And I mean, this situation, it's kind of okay. It's kind of one of them. But, you see, Zerglings surround the roaches, and the roaches are all like, oh, we're dying. Some nice micro there, actually. Like, pulling back weak roaches like that can be really good. But they're all gonna die. Ah, 2 get away. So this whole kind of mid-game, this is not something you can learn from. This is something you can kind of sit there and go, ooh, pro gamer does crazy build. Past that, you can't get too much out of it. What can you do? What can you get out of it, guys? What can we get out of this? We can get out of how the mid-game goes, how the gameplay goes once you're on 3 base. There's a lot of this kind of poking up with your army, pulling back, forcing units out of your opponent. Does Nercio think he's going to kill his opponent with this? No, but what has he done? He's just transferred drones to his gold. So he's kind of almost scouting with this. He's just trying to, okay, let's poke, let's take advantage of it. He's playing instinctively. It's not something you can really emulate, not something you can copy as such. Maynarding workers. Why didn't he Maynard 16 workers? Because he would have lost so much mining time. If Rhett decided to hit a timing in there, he would have died automatically, hands down. You already see his 10 supply down, because he hasn't got the advantage out of his gold base yet. But what is he going to do? He sees spines. A lot of you might look at this situation and go, oh, this is a horrible situation. You can't go in there, roaches and spines. What does he do? He's like, well, you know what? There's this thing called micro. It's pretty good. I'm just going to go up here and focus off some roaches and then just do whatever eco damage I can. Okay, you've got way too much stuff. I can't really kill you. What am I going to do? I'm going to kill your queen. I'm going to kill a drone. I'm going to kill 2 more drones. 3 more drones. I'm going to pick up that roach and then I'm going to leave. Now, how did he get away there? Did Rhett just screw up? No. If you target your opponent's economy, if you basically position... Okay, so this is kind of the concept. Opponent's economy, opponent's army. If you position yourself kind of in between them, and your opponent just goes straight for you, you can kind of always circle around... I don't know, okay. Yeah, you can kind of just follow after the economy if the drones are running, and they're forced to kind of move, try and get around. They're forced to go into some roundabout way to get in between their economy and you. Or your roaches can go, kill drone, move, kill drone, keep run, kill drone, run, kill drone, run, kill drone. This is how a roach attacks, by the way. I think that's how they attack, right? They like shoot acid like a airplane man with the lights, except it's acid coming out. So if you go for your opponent's economy really deeply, this is what you see people do with Blue Flame Hellions a lot. If the person just moves straight after the units can kite for a long time, killing the workers, and the workers don't really have a long proper direction to run. Whereas if you just kind of engage the workers and just sit there, like you don't really run away from your opponent's army, you try to attack through your opponent's army to them or something like that, your opponent can kind of just stay where they are. They can just fight. But if you're always kind of trying to slide between and then run away from the opponent's army into their workers, further into their economy, they're forced to run after you to such a point where you can often just run away, which I'm sure a lot of you Zerg players have experienced when you've got Hellions in your base, where you're forced to like, okay, I've got a position, there's no way they can get to my drones, and they just run out of your base, and you've got this like, did that just happen? Did they actually just get in and out of my base? And that's kind of the concept. It's just a matter of do exactly what we're going to see here. So these units come up this way, and see these roaches? Rather than going up here to cut off these roaches, they had to run into the mineral line, or these roaches could have killed all these drones and kept running this way. So that's exactly what I'm talking about. So the roaches just go, ha, I'm out of here, bitch. And Nercio kind of turns around a bit, and he's kind of just rallying these units up, just kind of trying to find weakness, but he has to pull back, has to start regrouping at his gold base. And what's he do? He just keeps building roaches, because he's in a kind of exposed situation. This always happens when you take a third base. You can rarely afford to fully drone a third base immediately. It's normally there so that if you win a battle, you can drone it. And that kind of goes for all matchups, but especially ZvZ is a matchup where that's so important. So here we go, he's kind of like, okay, let's defend this. Let's misclick on the statue. Zergs hate Mensk, apparently. Zergs. And, okay, so there's this counterattack coming in here. What's he do? He sends some roaches back, some lings back, and leaves most of his army here. And he's kind of like, okay, wow, I took damage as well there. Shit, I'm not in the best scenario. I'm down at 37 drones. So he's building a mix of roaches and drones now. He's trying to catch back up. Most importantly, he's kept, you know, most of his queens alive. He's kept 2 queens alive. And what's he doing? He's going for a counterattack. Now, bam! How did he decide to go for this counterattack, and why is it so brilliant? Why? Because it's like the best decision ever. Look at Rhett's vision. Let's look at what Rhett's vision is, and let's look at Nurture's vision. He sees that Rhett doesn't have any units here. He knows that this area is blank. So after he holds off this counterattack, he holds off that. He actually kind of runs some of his roaches in vision of it, which isn't the best. But most of his army is running just straight out on this right flank. And does Rhett know about it? Nope. Rhett's just like, what up, dude? I'm sitting here. I'm safe. I'm happy. I'm going to put guys on gas. And you know what Nurture does? He runs lings into the main. So these roaches are forced to kind of pull back to deal with him. Oh, what? They didn't do any damage. Why is that so cool, Pig? Because these guys are already in the main base. In the third base, sorry. He could even probably snipe that hatch down. But you know what? He goes for the exposed units, and he just killed a lot of drones there. Half that mineral line just got decimated. Rhett was actually droning really hard there. And what does he do? He goes, okay, let's just fight. We've got equal-ish units. Just focusing down economy once the enemy is on you isn't really that efficient. If you get into a position where you get a few seconds killing their economy and then get to trade, at least semi-decently, fantastic. So there we go, look at this, you know, roaches for roaches, pretty close battle, pulls back a little bit, does a little bit of focus fire. It's all good. What has he done during this? He's caught back up in drones. He squeezed drones quite a bit during that. He wasn't rallying. I mean, he's got quite a lot of roaches up again. You notice he's very low on gas, you know, he's got only 1 guy on this gas geyser. He's got 3 on that, 3 on that, 3 on that, 3 on that, so that's pretty good. And he's starting his +2, and you know, why isn't he getting any other tech? Because he can't afford it. He's playing super aggressive. He doesn't have a gas bank. You know, his opponent might have that. But Nurture, since taking this gold, he's trying to take advantage of the fact that he's getting this income boost. You see his income is about 200 minerals more per minute, despite having the lower work account. That's largely due to these 7 or 8 guys mining on the gold. And I accidentally clicked back through the replay there. Man, I hate that. Alright, so from here he's like, you know what? I've just done a lot of damage. I'm trading efficiently. I'm going to keep it up. And if you ever get into this phase, it's fantastic as a Zerg player. This is the same way you've got to play against Protoss, really. You just split units up, you hit their economy, you hit them in multiple areas, and it's so hard to defend against a Zerg. Even if you're Zerg yourself, it's so hard to defend Zerg multi-prong aggression, because their units cost so little, they can reproduce them so easily. So look at this, taking advantage of this blind spot once again. Does he send it up on its own? No, he grabs whatever other roaches, puts them on a separate control group. See? 3 for his main army, 4 for these 4 roaches. And he's going to send them in here and try to pick off queens, do as much damage as he can. So does he send these guys in straight away? Waits until they're getting close, and then he's like, alright, let's run in. Oh, there's a lot of roaches. So what's he going to do? Positioning himself between the army and the economy. So sure, it's not exactly literally between, but it's the same concept. He has to run around here. So if Rhett wants to properly defend his economy, he needs to run back here. At which point Nurture can run back out this way. So what Nurture is getting here is guaranteed damage on his opponent's economy. Look at this, just spreading out his units, getting a decent concave. He goes, okay, roach for roach again, but you know what? This battle doesn't look too good, does it? But he's pulled back so his opponent can't use all his units, so he's in this nice position. And what's he doing? He shift-clicked. You see? Shift-clicked those 4 drones. So he's going to focus those drones down. And what does he do? He's like, okay, micro. Zooms back down to his queen. Roaches, we are on his vision now. And he's just going to kill drones. He's going to kill the queen. It's like, okay, there isn't that much more to micro there. He actually clicked those 2 roaches on that Hydra, I believe. And then he's just like, let's pick off drones. So even though his armies aren't trading that efficiently, it doesn't matter. It's the same concept as against Protoss. If you're messing up their economy, messing up their production, and in this case killing queens especially, it's well worth it. If you kill 2 drones or one drone for every roach killed, if you kill 1 drone for every roach and then you trade semi-efficiently after that, you're laughing. Basically, you're in a very, very good scenario. So, what do we see Nurture doing again? Okay, another roach squad. Doesn't really have that many units, but he's basically going, okay, squad 3 of 9 roaches go here, squad 4 of 7 roaches go here. And what's he done behind this? He's up at 60 drones. He's got a good drone count. And he moves up there. And what does he do? He immediately just pulls back. And he's like, okay, you're there. These guys get to run in. And he's just toying with Rhett. Well, not really toying, but I mean, this is how he's choosing to play it. And it's a really smart way. Look, the units come to defend. He's like, hey, wait, you don't actually have many units there, so I can focus the Hydras. They're a really expensive unit. And this is all kind of fast-paced stuff that's hard to learn. But if you want to put this sort of play into effect in a kind of simple way for you guys generally at home, just always, each time you attack, have maybe 12 Zerglings waiting out here or something, and just right-click them into the main base and let them do their thing. It's going to throw your opponent off. It's going to do almost guaranteed damage. It's just a fantastic thing to do. And you don't need to focus fire and multitask it that much. If it's only a small investment like a pack of Zerglings, who cares? Just do it, and it's almost guaranteed to throw your opponent off to do good damage. So look at this. What's Nurture doing? Oh, what's that? He's killing queens. Once again, positioning his units between the economy and the army. So he's just running towards the economy constantly, pulling Rhett back again and again. And this is just the sickest way to play. It makes me so happy to see it. Losing control of them for a second there. Doesn't matter. At this point, you know, he's just getting so far ahead. All he needs to do is keep building roaches and keep shitting on Rhett's economy, and Rhett's never going to have enough roaches to buffer his Hydras. You might think, oh, but even if he's losing economy, Rhett will slowly get up a massive army. No. You notice in all these engages that the Hydras get left behind, and these roaches focus up individual roaches as they stutter along. So the roach count of Rhett is constantly being just smashed down. And here we see, you know, once again, what's he got? Another 4 roaches on a hotkey going in there to do some damage. You know, this isn't the best engage. You lost quite a few roaches there. That's going to happen sometimes. But do you think Nurture sits there and goes, bam, oh, everything looks so shit. Everything's so crap right now. I'm going to die? No. He just, do I care, man? I'm ahead. I'm killing economy at the same time. As long as I keep injecting and doing that stuff and don't worry too much, keep up my mechanics, I will be absolutely fine. So here we go, Nurture just going, alright, look at this, 4 roaches again. That's how he does it, just a small investment. So he can leave most of his attention on his main army. If he loses this, he doesn't really care. Once again, moving behind the mineral line, using his positioning, and then moving down into the natural. So what's he doing here? We're going to see what, focusing roaches as he goes. Keeping Rhett's roach count down. Focusing an Evo chamber. Upgrades so vital. Killing a queen. You know what you can do in this scenario as well? You can just go hold position rather than individually focusing these drones, because if you just stop or A-move, they'll go for the fighting units. You can hold position and your units will just attack all the drones that are in range. You can hold position, move, hold position. It's a good way of stuttering. And look at this, you know, more roaches coming in. Rhett is just so screwed. Nurture keeps losing these armies, but it doesn't matter. He's got an economy, Rhett doesn't. Here we go, Roach is coming in, and he should actually stay here. He pulls back, but he shouldn't. He's got enough to clean up those Hydras, but whatevs. Does it matter? Nope. Because Rhett leaves, because he had roaches up here the whole time, just killing stuff. So GG, and that's like really intense, but the main concepts are always use counterattacks. Sorry. Always use counterattacks. They can just obviously pay huge dividends. Don't get thrown off when you lose units with counterattacks. And always focus more on your main army rather than your small force. Your small force is dispensable. That's the force you want to kind of sneak in there and do just whatever it can before it dies. But that's about it. You basically just want to play that way, doing this pool gas opener, even a gas pool, and just playing the same way, doing the same transitions I talked about before. Go to a roach +1 timing attack, then you don't necessarily go through with it, but you work towards it, and then you kind of scout your opponent, and you go, okay, do I go through with it, don't I? It's a lot of really good ways to play it. So